War for the Planet of the Apes is the third Planet of the Apes movie in this new reboot trilogy. It's once again directed by the one, the only Matt Reeves, who directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes before, and Andy Serkis is back, who's doing the motion capture CGI for Caesar, the leader of our group of apes. This film takes place a couple of years after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. If you remember, in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, there was a big event that happened at the end of that film that led to humans targeting apes, and it led to all-out war, basically. So fast forward a few years later, we're in a state of war between humans and apes, and then Caesar gets drawn into a very personal and very tragic road that leads him down to some darkness, and that's really all I want to say for the people who haven't seen War of the Planet of the Apes yet. The point is, I've been waiting for about a week to share my thoughts, to spill my guts on War for the Planet of the Apes, which, if anybody does recall, was one of my most anticipated films of 2017. So without further ado, say it with me, guys.
Apes together, strong!
If this movie were a fist fight, like an emotional fist fight, I would have taken several L's right to the face walking out of this thing. I'm serious, when I got out of this movie, I went home and I just thought about this movie in silence. The movie emotionally rocked me to my core. It shook me. It got under my skin. And that really is the hallmark of a great film, that can compromise you emotionally during the experience. Seriously, I'm in a fist fight with this movie, and this movie is just throwing emotional haymakers at my face left and right. Just shit got heavy, shit got intense, shit got real during War for the Planet of the Apes. Well, the directing and the cinematography for this thing is good God almighty, how do I describe it? Matt Reeves is a master craftsman here. Everything from the way this film looks to the way it feels, the way that every scene builds to the next scene after it. There isn't a wasted moment of dialogue. There isn't a wasted scene of emoting. There is not a wasted moment at any point in this entire film. That's really a credit to the director. Even when things are moving at what you would call a slow pace, it's building character and it's building growth. This movie obviously looks gorgeous. I mean, everything looks real. Everything looks amazingly lifelike. The motion capture work and CGI, I mean, it's been great in these Apes films for the previous two movies too. I kid you not, I'm not exaggerating. This is not me prisoner of the moment or prisoner of last week's moment or whatever. The motion capture work and CGI in this film is hands down the best that I've ever seen in any film ever. I'm not kidding. At a certain point in this film, about halfway through, I forgot that I was actually watching CGI apes. Like, I was sitting there in the movie and I was just like, man, that ape is giving a really good performance. Well, I gotta look up his name. What is his name so that I can... Oh, wait, they're CGI. The apes have never looked more real, and they have never emoted better. Matt Reeves utilizes a lot of close-up shots showing apes and their faces, and where they're doing sign or where they're talking very slowly, and you have to actually look into their eyes and look into their faces. And I challenge a single person out there to tell me that that shit is not real. Andy Serkis, what more can we say at this point? He has made Caesar one of the most iconic figures and characters of the 21st century, and I'm talking about from the year 2000 until now. When we look back on cinema, Caesar is going to go down as hands down one of the most iconic characters ever. I love his character arc in this movie as you figure out that there's some stuff from the last movie that affects him more in this film, and you find out that Caesar is on a much darker path in this film. And really, this movie is about Caesar wrestling with his demons and wrestling with his psyche, trying to hold on to that small sense of morality and humanity that he once had. The musical score is the bee's knees, of course. The musical score is amazing. It really adds something because there's a lot of quieter, more somber, heartfelt moments in this film, and the musical score is captured brilliantly by Michael, forgot his last name. I swear to God his last name starts with a J. Look, you guys know that I'm bad with names. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but his musical score added so much to this movie, and it really just made the movie feel even more powerful. Woody Harrelson was really great as the human commander. Yes, he's a sick, cold-blooded, heartless bastard, but you do understand where he's coming from, and the movie did a great job of painting a picture of gray, where you're like, are the apes? Okay, I get it that we're supposed to root for the apes. Kind of root for the humans too, and you kind of get it, and you're like, which side should I root for? This movie was very much flawless in its execution. It's got heavy thematic weight to it. It's got dramatic weight to it. It's got emotional weight to it. It's got great character development, and it's a great personal, emotional character study for the character of Caesar. As far as things wrong with the film, I mean, I don't really have flaws with the film. I just have things that I think other people will bitch about that don't really bother me that much. In terms of it being the war of the Planet of the Apes and the way they marketed this movie in the trailers, the movie is actually not a full-blown, all-out war between apes and humans. And if you go into this movie expecting that, you might walk out of the theater disappointed. I mean, yeah, it does take place in wartime, but the war is not the point of the movie. Caesar and his arc and his apes, they're the point of the movie. There are some convenient plot narratives where certain characters have to act stupid in order for people to get to where they are. Not stupid like, oh, well, the apes outsmarted humans. It's more like, ape or human, you were just stupid right there. Guys, this movie enthralled me. This movie captivated me. This movie had me thinking about it hours and days after I saw it. If I had a higher grade, it would absolutely get it. War for the Planet of the Apes absolutely is Superman Prime material. Those are my thoughts on War for the Planet of the Apes. Let me know, have you seen it? 3 movies that we've had. Which one is your favorite? Let me know down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!